Alrighty then, so a lot of people have been asking for an equipment guide or write-up or something of the sort for a while. And I've already had videos I've posted for the most part already stocked, or I stated I was going to upload them regardless. Anyways, here it is, the most requested video on my channel so far, the equipment guide. Before we start, we should talk about how equipment functions. So, generally, all the effects from equipment are mostly unique. Whether or not the two-set effect is unique or not sets almost no precedence, nor would it outride the potential of a four-set effect. However, you cannot stack four-set effects due to a variety of conditions. Damage options generally only affect the character they are equipped to. I've stated this as an example before, but it should be said again for the sake of. An example of this is running a double poser set on Alice Kirito. So, if they both have poser set equipped, Alice's poser set will only affect her first and second skill, and not Kirito's skill. The reverse also applies, so Kirito's poser set will only affect his abilities. However, since they have a shared ability, their cross skill, both their poser sets are an action for that skill. Supportive sets also work in the exact same way that damage sets do. Defensive sets can be equipped to the sub-unit and will still affect the main unit. This one is a little bit different as to how it works compared to the other set effects. I'm pretty sure that the reason why it works like that is because sub-units cannot be damaged themselves. The downside to this set, though, is for the effect to work, that specific character that has the defensive set equipped has to move on that specific turn, which can include the cross skill. Just note that sometimes the best item set for your team will change depending on the condition. One example would be Kirino Kuroneko. Generally, Kirino will run one of the healing sets, and Kuroneko will have whatever will help your team out the most. If you tend to use the cross skill the most, then adding another healing set on Kuroneko would be best. If you're tending to use Kuroneko's skill for damage, then I guess you could put on Poser set. If you're using Kuroneko's skill in general, either the art set or gamer gear set would suffice. Just remember that if you want the set effect to work, you just have to use Kuroneko in that turn, which also can include the cross skill. Now that we're finally done talking about equipment effects and other stuff like that, let's talk about our first orange set, the alternative fashion set. This set effect increases our damage for skills that cost 4 or more. Pretty much the only reason why I'd use this is to set up for strong AoE crosses, such as Mikoto or Kuroko's skill. However, since you can only get up to 6 skill points through normal means and up to 8 through Tomoko Mashiro, generally it's pretty hard to use this set overall unless you are using a cross skill as your main skill. Just note that since this mainly works on cross skills, you would also want to double up on your main and sub unit for this set to make it extra juicy. I guess you could use this on strong single target skills such as seals, but the amount of times you'd use seals over another skill is mostly irrelevant unless you needed a specific effect, and if you did, you'd probably use them every other turn anyway, so having a defensive set would be a little bit stronger. Anyways, here we are, the most general best DPS set, the poser set. This set effect increases our damage for skills that cost 3 or less, which is most general skills. I would use this on any character that has both damaging skills that cost 3 or less, which is like most of the cast. Pretty much, just take this on your main DPS if other sets aren't as good or don't fill a specific goal you're trying to fill with your team. Next we have the Gakota set. We skipped over it at first because we might as well talk about the twin effects first. This set effect increases our bleed damage. Now, just a heads up, bleed works over time and you mostly need a pretty strong bleed or bleeds in order to make this set work. Shauna is an excellent abuser of this set because both of her bleeds are very strong. Two more examples would be Kirito/Rushian or Quenter/Froladia cross skills. I actually think that this set doesn't work as well on Mikoto since her bleeds are significantly weaker, but hey, maybe I'm wrong. Next we have the gamer gear set and the art set, which reduces our damage taken after acting on odd or even turns respectively. I can't really specifically recommend characters to use with these sets since these are essentially more or less general sets, but just make sure that the character that is equipped with this is the one that's moving in order to use the set. I would recommend you practice with your specific compositions in order to understand your general team rotations in order to figure out which set would be best. Just note, I would say to use the set if you can't find a reason to use other sets. At worst, you'll use this set effect once in a while, and they'll be stat sticks, which is better than not having a set effect at all. Now let's talk about the Doubt set. Go? Shogi? Chess? Whatever you want to call it. Board game set for all I care. Which decreases our damage taken after we inflict a debuff or damage status. Just note that it works like other defensive sets, in which the specific character wearing this has to inflict the damage status. I would recommend you use this similar to the gamer gear and art set, but using it as a skill that you can apply whenever you want or need it. An example of this would be equipping this set onto your sub Kirito and essentially doubling down on taking less damage. Moving down our list, we have the Working Demon Lord set, which increases our shield based on our attack. The main reason you'd want to use this would be on your shield tanks, such as Rentaro, Silveria, or Kirito. Just note that it works better on Rentaro and Silveria since they both have double shield skills. On Kirito, I would even think about running Poser set and using him as an off tank, but this set works just fine also. Next, we have the Astronomy set, which increases our healing effectiveness by 6%. Just note that if you don't have a burst heal, it's quite a bit harder to use this set. Good examples of characters to use this set on would be Kirino, Kojo, and Lifa. I wouldn't recommend using this set on Tomoka/Akko since their heals are much weaker in comparison, and it would be better just to make them tankier at that point. Me, on the other hand, I just use it because it's what I have. And for our final orange set, we have Shizuo's weapon set, which increases our wound effectiveness by 30%. Now, I think that this is probably the most useless set. However, if for whatever reason your area of effect wound needs to be stronger, then I guess you could use this set on Shizuo, Kirito, and such. Just note that Javia's single target wound and other similar wounds essentially stop all healing, so running it on them wouldn't make that much sense. Most of the orange weapons have a counterpart that you can easily pick from the purple sets. But if you're a beginner or still need to run purples until you can afford these orange sets, we could talk about the 3 purple sets that don't have specific upgraded counterparts. The first purple set we're going to be talking about is the Origami set, which increases our damage dealt when we have 6 or less climax points. I would recommend running this in full team compositions, where your team is meant to spam climaxes and just use them in general in order to try and have 6 or less climax points. You could also use this on teams that have very little climax point gain and have some stronger early turns, but I think the first method works better. This set is a full team build requirement, so if one DPS is running it, I'd say you should think about having other DPSs run it too. The next set is the Model Worker set, which increases our damage dealt when using our first skill. Note, this only applies to main units, so this set needs to be equipped on our main unit also. Generally, if you're using the first skill a lot for whatever reason, like saving skill points for bigger skills and such, then you would equip this set. The final set we're going to be talking about is the Explosive Art set, which increases our damage dealt when we use our second skill. This applies to main units, so this set needs to be equipped to our main unit. As long as you're using your second skill somewhat often, even every other turn, this set is probably best, since increasing the damage of your bigger skills that you use every other turn is more important than increasing the damage percent of smaller skills. With that out of the way, we can start talking about some tips that are probably needed when you first start the game, or tips about equipment in general. Yes, you should use purple sets until you can finish entire orange sets. The set effect even on purple gear is very strong and very necessary when you're starting. I would recommend you use the Save Outfit button in your equipment menu. It saves sets for you so you can change sets faster, since sets aren't linked to teams and are linked to individual characters. I would also keep extra purple gear sets for a while until you farm a bunch of orange sets, since I found that some purple gear was still applicable for a while when I needed it to change compositions, such as double main healer composition, where I had one orange set and I had to resort to the other using a purple set. I would generally recommend that you always infuse 2 attack into your gear, and the other stats you can pick and choose. For DPS, crit, chance, and crit damage is best. For shield tanks, just having 2 Fizz defense and 2 arcane defense is best. For healers, 2 HP and 1 of each defense is best. For other characters, you can mix and match based on what you need or want. In order to upgrade your gear, you'll need shards in order to infuse them, and orange potions in order to change the weapon effect. In order to receive both, you'll need to disenchant weapons of the same rarity. While shards are guaranteed, there's only a chance you'll receive these potions. And that's it for my guide. I hope you dreamers enjoyed it. So, this is quite a bit late since I already planned a lot of stuff, but there's a lot of content to upload sometimes, so maybe I should add more days to the upload schedule. But I'm really bad at those guarantees, and I want to make it easier for people to scout my videos, since I'm not doing those 10+ minute videos anyway, and I don't like adding random bullshit and stuff like that. This is one of the first times I sort of added random stuff, but I thought it was semi-relevant enough. If you guys want me to add more days into YouTube's videos and such, leave a like, share this video, and if it helped you out, and all that jazz. Leave comments if you guys want other videos too. Also, I'm streaming right now at 9 PM EST until 12 PM EST today, or for the first 3 hours this video is live. Supporting me there by subbing, watching ads, donating bits, and donating in general would also help me out to make more content. Also, if we can hit 6 more subs, I will thirst trap for you guys, and I will have a cheerleader Akko emote made just for you guys. Otherwise, thank you guys for watching and have a fantastic day.